Okay, so we are revisiting the 8 levels, and we're going to look at the Aruch Shulchan, and the goal is quasi to review it, but also hoping that since he's the Aruch Shulchan, he'll fill in some answers to practical questions that we didn't answer. And then I also kind of don't remember which theoretical questions we had other than what is this system? Like, is it one criteria? Like, whenever you have levels, you would think it's in terms of one, you would be predisposed to think it's in terms of like one criterion by which they're like ranked, but maybe it's this is better than that for this reason, and this is better than that for that reason. So let's just read and see what happens. I also don't want to dwell on this for many days because Purim's are on. Well, Adar is tonight. Yeah, okay. So it is the sentence right before Tezvav, which says, Haramam chashav shmona ma'alos b'tzedakah ve'elohim. Now Tezvav. Hamala gadol she'ein l'mala himenu, hamach zik biad Yisrael, hamach. I'm not going to translate unless we see something new. I got you a Aruch Shulchan if you want. It's in Os Tezvav. Oh, that was my fault. All right.
No, it's not.
All right.
Page 46 in
Yeah, I don't even know if it's the same page number. Let's see.
Okay, never mind. Okay, simulation test.
Yeah.
Test off.
I duped myself into buying something at the Svarim sale. I mean, I bought a lot of stuff at the Svarim sale, but I thought, because I never seen it, I thought that the Aruch Shulchan Ha'asid was one volume. So I was like asking the guy, like, do you have Aruch Shulchan Ha'asid? And he pulls out this set. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm buying that because I don't need to, but I feel like when I need it, it's going to come in handy. So apparently, just so you know, it's multiple volumes. Okay, so so I'm not going to translate unless we get something new. Hama, or unless you ask. Hamala hagdola she'ein l'mala himenu machzik biad Yisrael hamach nosen lo matana o halva'a o shutfus hashave hishve ze lahalva'a. So he equates this to the loan. Okay, so he has a thing beforehand about the role of loans, but I didn't want to get into that right now. Wait, hold on a second. Is this whole thing going to be an Akad Lashono? I should have looked that up first.
Yeah.
Really? To the bottom of Tesai. Okay, fine. All right, we'll still read it anyway. I just want to be on the lookout. Okay. No, this looks new, right? Yish chavrus shenosnim na'are aniya Yisrael bale malachos. That's interesting. They got like what do you call it? There's got to be some name for this in English where they have like youths and they employ them.
An apprenticeship.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, right. Paid internship. Right. That would probably be the thing. So that's a good system, right? For poor youths. But Davar Gadol, who I don't know, it was very good. Sorry, I just said it was good. These things very good. Right, not going and doing things like all the orphan movies with bad orphans. Right. I know these are not orphans, but like whatever. But that is that's like the Shlomo HaMelech in first parak of Mishlei. Like these are kids who might, because of their disadvantaged state, be tempted to like steal stuff or whatever. So you do have to do chesed and balance that with like making sure that they're on the right track. They should daven every day and be balei emunah l'shamayim v'lebrios. Right, so also good opportunity for chinuch and parenting, quasi parenting. Okay, so that's first level, and it makes sense that he includes these people there, right? Because you're basically giving them a job even though they're not adults yet. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Oh, so this is one of our questions, which is you have the double blind, and then you have the guy knows who he's giving to, but the recipient doesn't know who he's getting it from, and then you have the swap. So one of our questions was why that, which we speculated on. I'm just trying to frame it. Hanosin stak la'ani v'lo yeda l'mi yitain v'makabel lo yada mimi makabel. Kamo lishkas ha'chashayin shai b'mikdash shai nosnim b'chashai v'aniyim b'nei tovim misparnasim mimenu. V'tanya b'tosefta sham, so this is not Rambam, it's Tanya Tosefta there, shekashem shahaisa b'mikdash kachaisa b'chol va'ir. So just like it was in Mikdash, there was the same thing in each and every city. I guess this is back in the same, or in the time of the Tannaim, well, at least when the Tosefta was written. I don't know when, if they're saying like when we had like a Malchus and we were in Eretz Yisrael, or even like beyond that. Close to this is a guy who gives to the kupa. See, he adds chacham b'hanhaga, right? Like, which is what the Rambam meant. but we had to read it in the Makbili. V'yodea linhog bazeh kashura. Hamadrega hashlishis shiodea hanosin leminosin v'makabel eno yodea mimim makabel kamo gdolei hachachamim shayum hulchim baseser umashlichim lepiskei haniyim chen imoser hatzedakah al yidei shliach v'ina shliach magid minasna. Oh, that's interesting. That's another option you have, right? That's what they have, I think, in many shuls, like a rabbi's discretionary fund, right? That you give there, and then he gives to the people who need it in the community, but they don't have to, you don't know who's getting it. And also, actually, that would be closer to the
what's it called?
right, to the second category, right? In the sense that, well, actually, no, it's funny he puts it here, right? Because in that case, the actual giver doesn't know who he's giving it to, and the actual recipient doesn't know who he's getting it from.
Which case?
The second level.
Oh, you meaning the
double blind.
The hander?
Yeah, right.
Giving it to the kupa. No, because the kupa wasn't the gala, right?
The kupa. Hold on. The kupa is the same as the double blind, but now we're in the third level. So he's equating giving through a shliach to where the giver knows who he's giving to, but the recipient doesn't know. But to me, it makes more sense to characterize this in the second level. Right, because he just says "Eina shliach magid minasna," so the guy who's giving it still doesn't know, and unless the shliach even if the shliach tells the recipient who he's getting it from, that's not the third level; that's the fourth level. So I don't know why the shliach is here. You see my question?
No, I'm confused by that.
So level 2 is the giver and the recipient don't know each other's identity, right? Third level is the giver knows who he's giving it to, but the recipient doesn't know who he's getting it from.
Yeah.
And he's saying that the giver trusting it to a shliach is in this third level. But I'm saying the shliach should be the second level, because if the shliach knows who he's giving it to and who it's from, fine, that's just a shliach. But I, the giver, if I give it to you as a shliach and say, give this to somebody.
Well, that's the thing, this point, so he's saying it's not to somebody. He's saying in this case of shliach is that I give the shliach money and I say, give this to that guy.
Eina shliach magid minasna. Oh, minasna, not limi nasna. Sorry, I read it as limi. Yeah, you're right.
And he says, if somebody wants you to have it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because of hatur, because roy lasas. Torah says you should do that. Umala gadola hi im in hamamunin al hatzedakah nohagin kshura nohagin kshura. Right. That's what you should do if the tzedakah people are not trustworthy. Okay. Hamadrika Ravis, Shehani Yodea Miminotel in Hanosin Yodea Minasan. Kumo Gdole Hakachamim Shayut Sorin Hamas Besadid Nehem, Mashlichan Osan La Achrem, Ubaim Ha'anim Vinotlim, Kdeshlo Yihie Lahem Busha Sham. Yadua Shabuzmaninu Ze EF Sharlasos came. Okay, so this is new. Shiachatfu es hatzedakah es she'enam mehuganim. Like the kids trick-or-treating, taking the whole thing of candy. I think that's what it means, right? He's saying that it's impossible to do that now because they'll take the people who are not hugging will take the tzedakah. I mean, it's not exactly like the Halloween candy, but and the people who are hagun, it's not going to reach them. Like in places where they just distribute it freely. Interesting, yeah. So you see, one thing you see about this, by the way, might go without saying, but like a lot of these things are just, are mitigated by practical circumstance, and both for good and for bad. Like if you could come up with an additional system that it's not like a tsuras hamaisa where you have to do it this way. It's accomplishing the same thing, and to the converse, if this level as dictated in the halacha is not accomplishing it, then it's not the level. Yeah.
Of course, obviously, even though I think like today that it's once again perfectly doable.
Sorry, say it again.
As in secretly giving to people.
Right. It's and what about it? It is doable. You're saying.
I think maybe not 100 years ago.
Yeah, correct. Right. There's lots more means of giving now than before. Yeah.
It's interesting because can't he just give the case of you tell your shliach, give this to somebody and tell this for me?
Yeah. I mean, why did he mention the shliach case? Yeah.
To me, that sounds like that would work, right?
Yeah, right.
That would fulfill that level, right?
Wait.
I tell my shliach, give this to an ani of your discretion or whatever.
Yeah.
And tell them it is for me.
Right. So that would be the fourth level. Correct. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know why he didn't do that. Okay. You give it into his hand before he asks. So it's interesting. He says biado. I don't think the Rambam said biado. Oh, did he? Wait, see.
Yeah.
No.
I think
Shiyeda, no. Yeah, he did. Right. The only reason I'm commenting on that is because I think we were talking about how much of this is like with the face-to-face interaction with the ani. So yeah, mashma that is okay. Where are we?
One line down.
Yeah, thank you. V'zehu al derech v'haya terem yikra'u v'ani ene. We did that in the Sefer Yikarim, right? Before they call out, then I will answer them. So it's preemptive. Yeah. V'al zeh ne'emar. Hold on, I have to think about that for 1 second. Right, so the idea, I want to see how the halacha b'dracha it is, because the idea we had the Sefer Yikarim is he was saying how the essence of your tefillah is really the formulation in your mind of God is the only one I can get this, my needs from, and this thing that I need is within my realm to get. And then before you even actually daven, God is responding to that. And now we're saying that in the Bahalach the Bidrachav sense, you just have to emulate the preemptory part of it. So we're not carrying over the mechanisms. Yeah, I just wanted to talk through that.
Kind of side point.
Yeah.
And I forget why I didn't bring this up on Wednesday. It could just be because I forgot.
Yeah.
But that idea in Sefer Yikarim kind of seems to point to like Reb Chaim's idea of tefillah. So like a activity of the mind, Is
this the Reb Chaim that everyone thinks that they know, but does? Okay, so I probably am in the category of thinking I know it, but don't actually know it.
I mean, I'm only harping on the point of that Reb Chaim. If he doesn't say it outright, he makes it this way, at least according to Rabbi Zimmer.
Yeah.
That like tefillah is essentially an action of the mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you where I go for that, which is not unique to tefillah. And I know that this is a machlokas rishonim, but in Hilchos Brachos, which we're waiting for, Hilchos Brachos, where are we here? Brachos Perik Aleph, the Rambam says, Kol in Vav, Kol Brachos Kula Nemarim B'chol Lashon. You could say Brachos in any language. V'hush Yomar K'inin Shetiknu Chachamim. Oh no, that's not the one. Yeah, sorry, Zion. Kol brachos kulan sarchi yashmiel ozna mashu omer. All the brachos you need to say it audibly, like so you can hear what you say. V'im lo hishmiya yatza, and if he didn't make it audible, he's yote. Bein shehoti bisvasa bein shebirach belibo. So whether you say it or not, or are mevarach in your mind, you're yote brachos. So that shows that brachos are now obviously l'chatchila you can't do this, but the maisa is a maisa of cognition as opposed to. I don't know anyone who says you could be yote kriya shema if you don't say it, like you just do it in your mind, So I'm under the impression that tefillah is the same thing. That let's say, for example, you can't talk. Let's say like the one time, I did this. I think the only time I did not say tefillah b'mezid when I didn't have any other patunim was when I got all 4 wisdom teeth pulled out, and I just couldn't talk for that mincha. So I just went through the whole Shemona Esrei in my mind. I forgot if I asked for a shiloh for that, but it was in high school. So
as opposed to being honest.
Yeah, as opposed to being honest. Yeah, but yeah.
I think the Shulchan says that you can. I guess that's the situation you got your wisdom teeth removed.
That you can for tefillah, you mean?
No, for Shema.
For Shema. Oh, for Shema. Oh, okay, could be. Yeah. If you find it, let me know. Okay, then we are up to we did that. Yeah. So that's in Mishlei and Ishmael. Her palm is spread out to the poor, and her hand is sent forth to the ani. I guess the implication is that they don't ask. That she's sending forth, probably. That's probably the implication, that she's going out of her way to do that. Because you don't say, there's no shlichus yad when they come up and ask you, right? So kaba means that they're there, and shliach, yeah, okay, that's good. I didn't hear that before. Uschara meruba, and his reward is abundant. So God will respond in kind. We got to work on that also. That seems to be an extension of the V'hayater Mikro. Uvamida zo machazikim bale hatstakos hagadolos. That's the midah that the bali tzedakahs do, is they anticipate needs. I mean, that's very in line with de machzor asher yachzar lo, not de machzor asher yishal lo. Hamadriga hashishis shitin lo karoi achar sheyishal. You give the proper amount after they ask. Right, that's just straight up. Vashvi shitin pachas me royalo above b'sefer panim yafos. V'achrona shitin lo b'panim atzavos. Ugdol hachachamim hayinostim pruta la'ani konum kol tefila shnemar ani b'tzedakah echazeh panecha. V'kolshkin im nosim l'kupa shel tzedakah konum tefila. So that's also different because when we read the Rambam, I was thinking, does that mean davka giving to the ani before tefila? He's saying kol shekein if you give to a kupa, because I guess that's a higher level of tzedakah if you give to a kupa. The adif, the adif tvei, it's better. Mosh kasati b'simin tzadi beis ein sham. Ulahasi besulos yisomos anios, and to marry off virgins and orphans and poor who are besulos and yisomos anios is qualifying besulos. O bas talmid chacham ani. Hema miatzedakos agdolos. Those are among the biggest tzedakos, because I guess you're doing multiple mitzvos there, right? You're caring for the orphans, and you're also doing lihi dabik biodav, right? Clinging to the chachamim by marrying off the daughters of the chacham. L'chein gabay tzedakah kashish biadam lasos kain in lechat tzedakah gedolah mizo l'sameach laolam nafshos agumos, to cause the despondent souls to rejoice. That we'll see when we do Megillah later. Because Rabbeinu Harama Dimashanogim lifsok tzedakah avor mesim pshasas karos neshamos. So the Rama writes that when people donate tzedakah for like commemorations for the dead, when they mention the dead people's names, minhag vasikinhu. Never seen vasikin used. I know vasikin means like people who are scrupulous in mitzvos, but I've never seen it outside of the context of like hanetz, and kriyishma bismana. Minha vasikin umoil nishmosein, it benefits their souls if you roll that way. Ad kan lashono ukvar nisbar. Oh, that was not a. I know you didn't think this.
I might have.
That was not a Gilgal joke.
Oh, that wasn't a Gilgal.
Okay, but that would have been a funny Gilgal joke.
Was the dead bodies rolling?
Oh, that's funny. Also, I just mentioned that today. Yeah, that's funny. Kvar nisbar mizeh b'orachaim sof simin tov reish chaf aleph sham nisbar al pi hasifri degam hamesim trich kapara ein sham. Repesach gave a good idea on that once, but I've been meaning to write up every year. Haven't done how the mesim need kapara. Rabbi Fader has a good idea on the dead bodies rolling. I just don't know where to find it, but I referenced it today, not in Mishlei, but okay. So I guess the outstanding questions which still remain. The more we read this, the more I think it's not that there's one criterion by which all of these are ranked. It does seem like, let's say like we saw last time, equipping the guy, taking the guy out of poverty is definitively better than giving tzedakah when he's already poor, right? And from 2 to 3, it's not because of that criterion, it's a different criterion, and like, so the only thing we really need to figure out, which I think we did talk about, is the double blind is good, we see. The recipient knowing, the giver knows who he's giving it to. Do we say that that's less busha than the recipient knowing who he's getting from? I think that's what we said, right?
I think so.
It's less busha. Yeah, so I don't think, we could go through them in particular, but I don't think we need to really spend more time on this. I'm good with this. Okay, so I guess tomorrow is Adar, tonight's Adar, but if you want to do Megillah, start Megillah tomorrow. This would be a good time. This is like a nice clean break from this.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right, let's do that. And this year we have Yad Pshuta to help us. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the Yad Pshuta, I
Yeah.
listened to.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I listened to